What's going on, guys? Welcome to episode 2 of building Battlefront 2 Hoth in LEGO. Last episode we kind of started with building the basic layout for the terrain and kind of mapped out where everything's supposed to end up. Today we're going to be making this look a lot nicer by kind of leveling out and smoothing out all the terrain. I've been getting loads of bricklink orders in lately, so I'm really hopeful of the progress that I can make. And if you aren't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of the updates when they come out. So without wasting any more time, let's get started. So the first section that I'm going to be starting is this kind of middle section with the really open area. And the technique that I'm going to be using is I'm not just going to be tiling off the entire area. I'm going to be using a bunch of these 1x1 plates and then kind of like these. And then all of these tiles and just kind of making out this area where there's going to be some studs showing, but mainly just some tiles just to give it that like uneven look. And then I'm going to be slowly building up the slope right here with a bunch of these wedge plates. So I'm honestly like not really sure how to do this. I'm just kind of doing it randomly and hopefully it turns out well. So it's just kind of gonna be like this and just gonna basically just be that for the entirety of the mock. And I also need to be careful of where the base plate ends, just so I don't accidentally connect two base plates to each other. And then I'll have to tear that up because I really need this to come apart easily so I can transport it to Chicago. So I've laid out the first kind of basic shape of the first layer. I'll fill this in later. But now I'm just gonna fill in right behind it and put down some wedge plates, and that should look good. And I'll just fill in the next layers after that. So I've kind of finished off this first layer. There's still some gaps I need to fill. I've got some parts ordered for that, but I think the shape turns out pretty well. It's kind of my idea for like the entirety of the mock. So right now I'm just kind of filling in behind it so I can get the next layer set. But I'm not sure if I did like too many studs showing or not. Let me know if you think that's a lot or I should kind of like redo it. Maybe do a little less. I did think about if I wanted to do like footprints in the snow. And obviously in Battlefront 2, you're running around the entire map. And I'm not sure if that's part of the game, but it's kind of hard to do that if you're running around the entire map. So maybe like this could be like the snow kind of like being kicked up. And the tiled off part is just like the snow that's been untouched. So let me know if you think there's too much studs showing or not enough. But I think I'm off to a good start. I also got a ton of these 4x12 gray plates, so that should be pretty helpful when filling in underneath the actual snow. So I would like to have more of these 3x3 and 2x2 wedge pieces, just to make the outline look a bit more natural. So I have some of those ordered and they're on the way. So while I wait for them, I'm just going to start by working on this end, which is just going to be basically just entirely flat, just so I can put the AT-AT on there. I'll probably stop around the middle, just so I can, once I have the AT-AT built, I can just build around it, so I won't have to tear anything up. So I was only able to get this much done with all the 1x1 tiles. I do have like 500 of them ordered, so that's probably not enough still for the rest of everything. So I might just have to stop here for now, wait till those parts come in, and then just keep going, doing just kind of randomized tiles and plates. So I've pretty much got the entirety of one base plate done. All of these spots that are empty, those are going to be filled with 1x1 tiles that I have on the way. And I just got in a Bricklink order with about 150 of these 1x1 plates, and this is all that's left. So I definitely kind of ran through them, but I have even more on the way, so I should be able to finish this section over here and everything else. And as you can see, this table is a complete disaster right now, but I'm kind of just focusing on one base plate at a time. So this one is like basically done. It looks pretty neat with all the studs showing, and I'm pretty happy with it. I really like how the terrain is looking so far. This is kind of what it's going to look like over basically this half of the mock. This side is kind of going to be more focused on the mountains. Obviously it's going to have the slope's going to be leading up to Echo Base, so I'll work on that later. But yeah, this is kind of how it's going to turn out. So this base plate is basically done except for just two pieces. I have some rounded tiles coming in for right there and right there, just so I can have it kind of rounded off a bit better. And I got in those 1x1 tiles, and it is looking pretty good. And I also just dropped all of them on the floor, so that's great. Just finished up a live stream building Hoth, and I think I got some pretty good progress done. I did some more of this base plate, and this one's kind of covered up with all these cups right now, but I'm gonna stop working on this part for right now, just so when I have the AT-AT built, I can build around the feet. Maybe have like some snow being piled up around the feet, and hopefully that should add some more stability, because on the bottom of the feet there are like some plus sized little holes, and hopefully I can like build just like some bricks, and that would make it more stable so it doesn't fall over. But yeah, I think it's coming along pretty well. I once again ran out of the 1x1 plates, so I got like maybe 1,500 coming in. That should maybe be enough, but I just go through them so fast that I don't know how much I need, which is not good, because as of today, I have a month left before I leave. So this needs to be kind of like fast-tracked, and not fast-tracked, I still want to take my time on it, but I need to put a lot of work in between now and June 13th. Right now, I am kind of getting to the point where I'm starting to freak out a little. It's just over a month away until Brick World Chicago, and I'm just scared that I'm not going to have this done in time. So I have finally all the pieces that I need. Got about 1,000 of these, probably the same amount right there, and all the other pieces that I need for doing all this terrain work. So I'm just going to sit down, power through it, kind of do as much as I can right now. And yeah, I'm feeling pretty good, but again, kind of nervous. I now have all of the layers up to the certain levels that I want. So now all that's left is just to do the randomized kind of design for the terrain, and then this area should be good. So I ended up running out of white plates, which really help with bringing up one layer, just so I don't have any random colors showing through. So I can't really do anything until I get some more, which I should probably get more soon. Right here, I'm just kind of stopping just so I can get more of the hill, which I'm kind of doing. I'm trying to figure it out like this, just putting like one of these hinge pieces underneath, but I'll tackle that later on. So when one comes down here, I'm not gonna put anything down there, so just don't waste parts. And then right here is gonna be the command center, or the kind of base that goes there. So I'm not gonna tile that off just yet. I'll build that up and then tile around it. And same with this area over here. I'll probably leave this untouched for now, just because this is where the AT-AT goes, and I want to have like the footprints like embedded in, and like the snow kind of built up around the feet. So I'm not gonna do that right now. And right now I'm just kind of gotta obviously clear this off, and then another hill right there, and then just kind of build around it. Most of the stuff left is just stuff that I have to build around, so it's just gonna be tiling that off later on. And yeah, it's coming along pretty well. I got some good work done. So I got some new plates in, and I've been putting in some work over here, and I was just kind of looking at this area, and I think I'm gonna kind of remove these two levels right here, just so I have more area for the base that goes there, just so it kind of sits there better and don't have to worry about the mountain being right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove those, and then maybe tile off some more area right here, and just kind of leave this area untouched. Same with over here, and probably right there. And also this area just for the AT-AT echo base and the command station, or the shield generator. Just finished kind of raising each level, and now I just gotta go in here and tile off these areas. So this kind of main big slope is probably done right now, and it's gonna maybe go up like 1 or 2 more levels, and then up towards echo base, and then the shield generators. Right now I just gotta put a bunch of plates in this area right here. Right here is where the command base is going to be. So this is kind of how I want it positioned right there. We're gonna have like the turrets right there and the steps leading up to it on either side. So since it's gonna be covering this ground right here, I'm gonna be basically just tiling off with these bigger tiles. And I've actually decided to kind of keep these two base plates together. This is partially an accident because I accidentally connected them, but then I was like, since this is going to be kind of in between each one, I might as well just have them permanently connected. So I'm just going to be tiling off this area right here, and then maybe having like 1 or 2 studs exposed underneath, just so it's easier to kind of connect and detach. And now since this is tiled off, I can go ahead and do the terrain for the rest of this area without worrying about this part. So what it just did was I removed, or rather added, some plates in there, but I had to remove some of the bricks supporting it. And then my plan is to use a bunch of these and then just kind of put them on right here, and then I can just kind of build up the trenches. just finished one of the front ends of the trench, and I have to say I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. I think the figure, there'll be like one more plate that the figure stands on, but I think it's at like a pretty good height right now, to where they're like right at the nice area to where they're slightly coming over. I'm currently plating over this area right now, and it actually comes out to be one brick taller than this area right here. So I'm just gonna end up just raising this part by one brick just so it's level and I don't have to waste a bunch of plates, and it'll take me a lot less time to do that. And then I should be able to start on this trench, and then I'll just leave some of this area undone for the shield generator. So I've now finished kind of like the layout for each level. So now what I just gotta do is put all these wedge plates on to where the white is, and then tile off the rest, and then it should be mostly done for this week. And then I gotta clean up all this mess. This is the disaster. And here we are at the end of episode 2. A lot of progress was made. This was probably the most tedious work that I've ever done. It's just all these individual little plates and tiles. Just took a while just to randomize that. We got some work done on the trenches, and I'm kind of experimenting with how I'm gonna fill out the other side, which I think that's gonna work out pretty well. We got the other one over here, just did that one. Like how it turned out, and everything that you see that is exposed, like this area, that area, some of this right here, and this big area right here, all of that is going to be covered or is waiting for something to be placed there so I can build around it. Like that's gonna be the AT-AT. We're gonna have Echo Base, the shield generator, and then the command post right there. So things are coming along pretty well. Got a little less than 3 weeks left, and I'm just very excited to see how this is going to turn out. And that's it for episode 2. I hope you enjoyed. I know it was really kind of all over the place, just switching around spots, but next week's going to be a lot more focused, specifically with the shield generator and the entrance to Echo Base. I showed y'all last week the shield generator, but now I have kind of like my prototype for the Echo Base doors, so hopefully it won't take as long as I did between 1 and 2 as it will be for 2 and 3, because I already have some stuff working on and I have limited time, so I'm little freaked out about that, but I think I'll be fine. And let me know what you think of it so far in the comments. If you have any suggestions for me, there's a couple last week that I might try and work into it, and I'm more than happy to hear a few ideas. And make sure to subscribe if you aren't already so you don't miss the upcoming weeks where I'm going to be making a ton of progress. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.